What's going on, boys? It's your boy Cerrone Macaroni MMA back with another video, and today we have another matchmaking video here. I've been really thinking about UFC 334 a lot. You can tell by the thumbnail, you can see two guys are going to be on this card. I've made a lot of matchups here. I made a full card from early prelims to main event. I think what I have on here is pretty good. I think the UFC should really capitalize on what I'm putting out here and make a lot of these fights happen. A couple of these fights, a lot of these people on these cards, not a lot, but I'll say a couple of people on the card I've put on here, they're pretty much confirmed to be fighting on this card, or maybe on 335. I also make a card builder for 335. I might do just main event or not main event, just the main card for 335, but we'll see. But anyways, man, I feel like 334 because you saw the thumbnail. You know it's gonna be on there. Tom Aspinall's gonna be on there. Originally, I thought Tom Aspinall was gonna fight 332, but now what's looking like is they're probably gonna do like a light heavyweight interim thing, whatever. I don't know. And then for the co-main for 332 is Natalia Silva versus Valentina Shevchenko. I mean, I don't think that's fight fully confirmed yet, but it's been confirmed by a good amount of MMA sources. Basically, it's in the works. UFC hasn't put on there any other social media pages yet, but that fight's confirmed. I knew that was happening, but the main event still questionable. Mostly gonna be like Paulo Costa or Big Ank or Yuri Costa. That shouldn't happen. It should be Paulo Costa should be in it, but Yuri should not be in it. But anyways, man, let's get straight into the card. You already saw the thumbnail. You already know it's gonna be on it. Let's go at the first fight of the card, the main event. What everybody's gonna pay their money for, really. That being Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane. This fight to me needs to happen. I wish it would have happened earlier, like on 332, like I was talking about before. But obviously the UFC, they like to do things differently. Not really listen to what people are saying. They kind of do their own thing, which makes sense, understandable. But I just feel like this fight should be on 332. It should be the main event because for weak co-main event, Shevchenko was not weak co-main event. She has name value to her. Or basically, no one wants to go see her fight, bro. Do you know anybody wants to go see a Shevchenko fight in person? No, I don't even want to watch one on TV. It's the same result every time. But anyways, so this fight to me needs to happen. Obviously, they fought before. What happened? Yes, the whole eye poke thing. Tom Aspinall got eye surgery, basically. With his vision, his retinas were cooked. We get it. Yeah, he's back. Remember, Ciryl Gane just beat Poatan at the UFC White House event. He's coming back. He called out Tom Aspinall. He said, "Hey, title shot. Let's do it. I'm here. I'm ready." And then I saw a clip of Aspinall. He's on the couch watching the fight, saying, "Yeah, let's do it. Let's make this fight happen." Like, he wants it. Aspinall wants it. Gane wants it. This fight needs to happen. This fight to me is such a good fight. Even before the eye poke, before all the eye poke, even before the fight even started, I've been wanting to see this matchup. And even before that, when it was in the works for the first fight, we all know it's gonna happen. We all want to see it happen. We were just waiting. To me, this is a fight it's basically confirmed. When a fighter has a call out, Ciryl Gane wants to fight that, but Ciryl Gane is he's probably ready, bro. He's fresh. In the Pereira fight, didn't really take that much damage, I'll be honest. He was landing the bigger shots in Pereira. Aspinall's been out for almost over a year. It needs to happen, for sure. Both these guys have been doing, pretty good. Even, before this fight, they've been on pretty good win streaks. Arguably, okay, Ciryl Gane, yes, in a way he robbed the Volkov. Crazy. Did beat Spivak though. Obviously beat Pereira with Aspinall, even before the Ciryl Gane fight happened. Beat Pavlovich, beat Tybura, beat Blaze. He killed all of them. He was ready for this fight. We knew it was happening. We wanted to see it. I'm excited. To me, this is a fight that's basically confirmed, but I just feel just like there's so much hype around this fight just because like we don't know what's gonna happen now. But at the same time, like we don't know if it's gonna be the same result as the first fight. But anyways, yes, this should be the main event of 334. Because if it's not 332, it should be in 334. This fight needs to happen this year. If it doesn't happen this year, the UFC's crazy. This fight will give them out so much money, so much revenue, for sure. Anyways, let's move on to the co-main event. That being another. I feel like this fight's been, I really go off a lot of rumors and talks, and then for like main cards, fights that make sense on the rankings, and then for prelims, I just go off like guys. Same thing with rumors, kind of, but like I also go off guys who fought me, upcoming prospects who needed fights. And with the co-main event, I'm gonna do Charles Oliveira, the Bronx versus Diego Lopez. I mean, this fight has been being rumored. Some people are saying it's gonna be the main event of 334. That's not the worst thing ever because it'll be for the BMF belt. I feel like Oliveira would put the BMF belt on the line. I mean, if Diego Lopez is fighting for the BMF belt and he won it, I feel like the BMF belt would pertain to someone like a fighter like him. It makes sense. This fight to me is really good. A very fun matchup. Diego Lopez been on a rampage. If you exclude the losses to really like, we're talking about like the pretty early losses. Like if you exclude the losses, 2 losses to Volk, then we're here. I mean, obviously he lost to Mobstar in his first fight, but that was, I mean, a lot of people forget he even fought Mobstar, which is crazy. But I'm gonna be talking about the Volk losses. Those are the 2 biggest losses he's ever had because he fought Volk not once but twice. Second fight that shouldn't have happened, but I love to see a trilogy once. Maybe Lopez moves back down to 145. I don't know. I will love to see the trilogy though, but that's probably gonna happen like later on. Maybe if Diego Lopez even goes back to featherweight. But this fight to me, obviously Charles Oliveira. It was in the works. It's been confirmed. The country hadn't been signed yet, but he was supposed to fight Armin Sarukian on 331. Obviously, rest in peace to Alan Nascimento. He passed away. He still needed to mourn. He needed time to, really, he did worry about his mental health first, which makes sense. Definitely something serious. And I was all for it. I was like, you know what? If he sets up for this fight, it's fine. They found a co-main event. They found a co-main event for it. It's obviously Mauricio Sarukian versus Armin Sarukian. So that's a fine main event. I mean, fine co-main event. It's a little weird, kind of, but if you look at the lightweight rankings, it's kind of like there's no one else really for Armin to fight, but at the same time, it's kind of a weird matchmaking fight. But anyways, this will be a fun fight. Diego Lopez, another guy who's on the Freedom American, I'm saying American, I mean he's American, the UFC Freedom 250 card, where he destroyed Steve Garcia, knocked him out, and then Charles Oliveira, he's coming off of a pretty, I wouldn't call the fight boring, but he came up pretty dominant win over Max Holloway, the second fight. So it'd be fun, very fun fight. Really, grappling, a lot of grappling fight. Obviously, Oliveira is more of a grappler. Diego Lopez can grapple as well, but it's really, to me, I would take Oliveira to win this, but this is a very fun fight. The main event coming, like I'm telling you, Tom Aspinall, love. Saragon, hated, but still brings publicity. Oliveira, love. Diego Lopez, love. Like, this would be such a good main event, co-main event, brings so much popularity, so many views, so much money. Dana really needs to think about this and, like, hey, make this happen. This should be what, people want to see this. They want to see all these. Like, it's just be fun. Yeah, but I think this should be the co-main event. Diego Lopez more lightweight. I mean, we want to see him fight the top of the top lightweights, and this should be a very fun matchup. Like we don't for a guy of Diego Lopez's caliber to move up, we don't really want to see him fight like guys under the top 10, or even guys who are right outside the top 15 looking to get ranked in lightweight. We want to see him fight the top guys in lightweight: Max, Ilya, Oliveira, Paddy Pimblett. Like, there's so many fun matches you could do, but Charles Oliveira to me is the most realistic one. The one that I believe Charles would accept to do. The BMF belt to me should be in the line for this fight. Fun matchup, love it. Good co-main, good main. Let's move on to the featured fight of this card. And this fight, I did make this fight already. from a prior UFC card that happened. Upcoming guy making his way to the belt and lightweight. That being Quillen Salka versus BSD, the puppet BSD. This fight has to happen. I mean, I made it. I kind of predicted it before a little bit. I kind of match made it after Salka destroyed Gamrot, choked him out. I mean, it used to happen. Most of these lightweights are already pretty booked in fights. Paddy's gonna fight Ilya, probably, most likely, hopefully. Justin's, not really. He's gonna fight. He's not fighting this year, bro. He's fighting in 2027, right? Probably like in February, like one of those spots, bro. So we're not gonna see Justin, Ilya, Paddy, like I said. Oliveira already have him booked in a fight. Armin's fighting Rufy. So Salcode is gonna have to fight BSD, and this fight to me is like you can honestly put Salcode against one other guys. Like obviously there's like Max Holloway too, but I don't think Max would take that fight. I feel like Max, his ego and the way he values himself, like, he just wouldn't take this fight to me. I just don't see it. I don't see it at all. But yeah, this is a really fun matchup. Like legitimately, when I was predicting the Gamrot and with the Gamrot and Salka main event, I was thinking like Gamrot's such a good grappler. Salka has the grappling abilities in him, but I just didn't think how grappling I was gonna get taken down. Have a hard time striking up Gamrot from the wrestling. But it was the opposite. Salka being in his own game, and I think with the grappling, BSD is a pretty aggressive fighter. We've seen it before. Rufy, Moicano, even Dustin fights. He got project. Yeah, we know that. He had a very hard time, having his way, fighting normally fights in that fight. But put those aside, he's a very aggressive guy, good striker, vicious elbows, likes to choke people out, rear naked chokes, can grapple. We've seen it. And with Quillen Salco, to me, this will be Quillen Salco's biggest test to really see if he can hang in the top of lightweight. He can hang with guys like Gamrot. But what I mean top to top, I mean guys who former champions, guys who have fought the current, like Paddy fought Justin, Ilya fought Justin, was a former champ, could have been champ, being up legends, Max former champ, beating up former champions, he's beating the current champ just in case like there's so many things. Like he's got to the top, and I want to see Salco get up there because Salco is such a fun fighter to watch. Very fun fighter, likable fighter. His personality very fun. This is his biggest test, and if he beats BSD, he's really obviously there's talks about him winning the belt now, but they're like if he beats a guy like BSD, then there will really be talks about if this guy we want to see him fight Max Charles. Like those are the fights I want to see. People are trying to bring this Max out. I was like, you know what? No, too early. We want to see him fight a kind of a lower guy, and I want to see him fight BSD. Good fight. This to me is where we're gonna see if Salco can hang. This is where we're gonna determine. I mean, yes, he's gonna be a guy in the rankings for a while, I would say. But other than that, this is to me a really good feature fight. This fight needs to be made. Most other lightweights in the top of the rankings are pretty much booked in fights or waiting for fights to get in the and they're in the works right now. It'll be a good fight, fun fight. Let's move on to the next fight in the main card I have here, that being Ikram Askarov versus Boneko. So obviously Boneko is he's ranked. I do not know how he's ranked. I don't know who he's beaten, but I don't really care that much. This is to me a very underrated matchup. But these guys like to wrestle. This is not the funnest matchup. It could be kind of boring, but I think this matchup is realistic. They love putting Boneko on main cards. He's been on main cards. He's on UFC 300 main card. I think he's on another main card. He was on the UFC to Freedom 250 card. I don't know why he was on it, but he was on it. I mean, they're pushing for this guy to be on a bunch of high level stacked cards, and to me he's gonna be on a card like this because They're trying to push him. They're trying to get him back to where he needs to be, because obviously he's lost the RDR and that kind of derailed him. But now he's come back, and I do think, like I was thinking about, oh, we could put him against I was trying to think, but most like there's not really many other guys you can really put him against in middleweight, because obviously like above him there's Jared Cannonier. Just gotta have a fight. I don't see him fighting anybody for a little bit. CLD, he's gonna fight someone above him. Miranda Ritter moved light heavyweight. Adesanya, I see him fighting someone else. I don't see Adesanya fighting anybody for a minute, a little bit. It's like Joe Piper's fighting up. Fluffy could fight someone below him. Like there's a bunch of other guys that in this division that people want to see Bono go against, but like realistically, he's gonna fight Ikram Liskarov. And to me, it's pretty evenly matched. I'm not the biggest Bono fan in general, but like he's pretty good in terms of the wrestling. He has knockout power. He knocked out Kyle Dawkins. I remember being in the fight, he like flipped him. We've seen him. He's not bad. His resume is kind of weak. I get it. His best win is legitimately honestly, you could say his best win is against Kyle Dawkins or like Cody Brundage, and that's not good. But I do think they would push him to be on the main card. This is a realistic matchup that would happen. Bo Nickal, obviously, like I said, he's coming for a win against Kyle Dawkins. He knocked him out. Ikram Liskarov was coming with a very dominant win on the Azerbaijan card against Bruno Ferreira. Just really controlled him, outstruck him, and I think he would do pretty well against Bo Nickal. I'm not really gonna predict all these fights. I just think I'm here making the matchups. This will be a fun fight, interesting. Yeah, evenly matched. And we can move on to the next fights in the main card. This fight to me is going to be very intriguing because I've heard rumors about this, but the opponent of the guy I'm going to put in here. But to me, I think they do this. UFC Dana, listen to me. UFC Hunter, come on, listen to me. We need to see Rose Namajunas versus Wong Kong. Actually, before I even got to this, I was talking about a different fight. The fight after this is going to be, the fight. There's going to be a guy who's had kind of a layoff. But let's talk about this fight. Right, to me, makes the most sense, most realistic. Wong Kong's making her way up in the rankings. She just beat Trish Cortez. She did a pretty good job. Outstruck her, took her down. She just really dominated her. And to me, in women's flyweight, there's so much good, so many good fighters in women's flyweight right now. There's Mena Fiorat, Elisa Grasso, Blandfield is not bad. Namajunas, like I'm talking about, Macy Barber, Jessica Vicious, Cortez, Eduardo Mora, Miranda Maverick, even Karen Silva. There's a lot of pretty talented women's flyweights who are in the rankings right now, even in general in the division. Not bad. But to me, this fight makes the most sense. One, because Macy Barber is not coming back for this card. How do I tell you? Jessica Vicious is fighting Aaron Blankfield. Cortez just lost. I don't know why Namajunas would fight her, but Wong Kong has made her up the rankings. I think she should fight someone like Rose Namajunas to get herself in the top 5. Maybe contend in the future for flyweight and verse, whoever the future champ is. Namajunas obviously lost in Natalia Silva's the number contender division. She'll be fighting Shevchenko most likely. I mean, we pretty much confirmed. UFC hasn't put it out yet, but it's pretty much confirmed. But I think Namajunas, to me, she lost this fight. I mean, she does have arguably one of the most boring fights I've ever seen in my life. But she's a lovable fighter. She has some fun fights, highlight moments. Wong Kong is definitely someone to watch out for. She's pretty good. She has the striking. She has the wrestling. She has a couple of solid wins. Obviously Tracy Cortez, She beat Eduardo Mora, who's also ranked currently in women's flyweight. I can think of like, no, that's pretty much it. If you want to go for like the 2 wins she has, those are 2 pretty good wins. I think she needs someone, more competition and move, because like the people above her right now, except for closest person to her, I think she should fight Diamond Eunice. That should be a good fight. It's women's MMA. Yes, I know. Oh, it's on the main card. Hear me out, bro. It's a ranked fight. 5 versus 9. Should be in the main card. These are 2 fighters who are actually entertaining. I mean, it's questionable, but she has entertaining fights. Okay. But still, 2 entertaining fighters, 2 pretty good fighters. One comes upcoming, trying to get to the belt. I mean, Yuna is also trying to get back to the belt as well. We have a UFC veteran against someone who hasn't been in the UFC for too long, kind of trying to make a name for themselves. This is a good fight. Should be made. Should be the main card. Boom. Let's move on to this fight. Like I said before, like I was talking about before, saying there's someone who's been off a long layoff. I've been hearing rumors about it. He said he's been in talk with Dana about making a fight happen. To me, this should be in the main card. MSG always has stacked cards. This card's gonna be stacked with a lot of guys. And to me, the next fight on this card to to end off the main card, or even add another fight on the main card. But this card should start the main card. We're gonna have Leon Edwards versus Jorge Masvidal. Now Jorge Masvidal, yes, he's been off like I remember who he fought in his last fight, but I'm trying to remember. He fought like 3 years ago, yeah, against Gilbert Burns. Remember that on the Pereira Sonya card. He's on a 4-fight losing streak, yes. Lost to Usman twice, lost to Colby, got dominated, lost to Gilbert Burns, lost. Yes, I understand. But he's talking about he's coming back to the UFC. He's talking about, making his return. I remember he's getting interviewed, got by a reporter. They asked him, "Oh, who'd you want to fight? Have you been in talks with the UFC? Maybe I'm making a comeback." And he said, "Yeah, he's been in talks. He has not really. He's been talking about a couple opponents. He's looking for the right one." Then the guy brought Leon Edwards, and he said, "Yeah, he let her do it. If Leon Edwards wanted to do it, you let her do it. That'd be fun. He would want to fight him. He would want to fight him for sure. It'll be a fun fight, very fun matchup. And yeah, I just think that like if he's talking about it like this way, and the guy brings in Leon Edwards, if Leon wants to sign this and come back, on this card and fight a guy I said later. I mean, to me, Leon Edwards has the advantage in this fight, but this will be a fun fight regardless, bro. Former BF champion, dog, always puts on entertaining scraps. Jorge Masvidal against guy like Leon Edwards, who's even though he's not there for the industry, he's lost to good guys. Lost to a prime Bilal Muhammad, who won the belt after that fight. Lost to Sean Brady, who's pretty good in welterweight. Lost to Carlos Prados, who's literally the number contender in welterweight, and he will fight Islam Makhachev for the belt in like next couple months. But yeah, I'm just thinking like this fight should happen. They brought Leon Edwards because he's someone else on welterweight. I mean, Leon Edwards is kind of a big jump because he is in the rankings. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he's in the rankings. I don't know why I thought he was. Because he's been a loser. He's in the top 10. But Jorge Masvidal, I love to see him fight him because, like, realistically, out of all the guys, like Morales, Prates, JDM, Bonfim, Ian Gary, off limits. Joaquin Buckley off limits. He's gonna fight Mike Malott in October. Earl Smadich off limits. Mike Malott off limits. D-Rod off limits. Yeah, I saw myself. I wouldn't understand that matchup. And it's really Bilal, Leon, Usman, but like Usman has really been fighting a middleweight. Was questionable, but like this fight team makes the most sense. Very entertaining matchup. We have an entertaining brawler. And Jorge Masvidal coming off a 3-year layoff, coming back. Love to see him fight. And like MSG makes so much sense. Like it makes so much sense for him to come back to MSG. To me, it's be a fun fight. I guess Leon Edwards, who's on 3-fight losing streak, still has some fight in him. Fun matchup. I would definitely assume there's gonna be a finish in this fight. But yeah, this fight should start the main card off. Masvidal's return should be MSG because MSG usually has some pretty stacked cards, big returns, big moments, and Masvidal's gonna be a big return to the UFC this year. Maybe he come back 2027. He said maybe he could come back in 2027 or 2020, like January, February. Realistically, I think I would love to see him on this card. If he can get in talks with like Dana and all of them, make it happen. He could fight someone else. He could fight Bilal too, but make this fight happen for sure. Let's move on to the next fight. We're getting to the prelims here. That being the return of Wonder Boy. He said he wants his last fight to be this year on MSG. And I was thinking, who should we give him? We're going to give him a matchup that I believe he can win. He has a good chance in. I'm going to put him against Chris Action Man Curtis. Chris Curtis coming for a loss to me with oral bye. I mean, Chris Curtis is just, I'm not saying this, I'm not, trying to insult him. He's a mid fighter in terms of like, the average, in the UFC. He's not bad. He's solid, but I just think that he's kind of a bad loss to oral bye where he's got taken out repeatedly, couldn't get up. Just not good. But against Wonder Boy, this will be a fun fight. Wonder Boy hasn't fought in a minute. Chris Curtis hasn't fought since like I think March. I don't know, but Wonder Boy literally his last fight against Bonfim, split decision loss. I thought he won that fight. I guess he didn't. I was confused. But I mean, like, yeah, if I have Shavkat, if I have Joaquin Buckley, I mean, he's been getting, like losing, but this is his last fight. He's like 43, 44. He should be in this card. It's an MSG card to me. That he's on this card is on 335, the December card, which I will also build some fights for. But to me, he should come back on this card. Like I said, it's MSG. It's where, a lot of memorable moments happen, a lot of returns, highlights, big wins. Wonder Boy should be on, just like, Jorge Masvidal coming back on this card. And he's returned against Leon Edwards. I believe Stephen Wonder Boy Thompson should come back and fight Chris Curtis on this card. He said he wants to fight MSG. It should be his last fight. I don't like that the UFC is putting like these older guys who are kind of declining. Guys who are going through retirement fights, like examples like Darren Elkins got put against like an upcoming prospect, got finished in 30 seconds. Then Edson Barboza, another fighting an upcoming guy, younger guy. It's pretty good. Like I don't like how the UFC's doing these like legends. Wonder Boy's a legend to me. He needs to fight someone who's like kind of on his level, not the best fighter, not the worst, but solid. And this will be a good matchup because I don't want to see Wonder Boy get slammed out. I think it's a winnable fight for him. He's going by decision. I don't see him finishing Chris Curtis. But yeah, fun matchup. Let's move on to the next fight here. We're gonna have another upcoming guy, that being John Bork, Magomed Zainikov versus Drew Dober. I did make this fight after UFC Abu Dhabi. I said he should fight Drew Dober. Be a fun scrap brawler. Literally, if you watch Magomed Zainikov's first fight in the UFC against Damien Sapechki, strike fest, nasty elbows, good boxing. Didn't even really try to even go for like takedowns or really try to hold him because he was only on the feet. He looked really good. He battered Zapechki. His face was all bloody. So basically no damage in the fight. Against Drew Dober, he's not coming out unscathed. He will take damage. Drew Dober is a brawler. Yes, his chin is, a little bit, He's been knocked out a couple of times. Okay. That's what makes that's the fun of it. Drew Dober has a lot of power, lots of finishing ability. Zainikov, even before his UFC debut, finishing ability. This will be a fun fight, fun scrap, fun prelim scrap. This is prelims, by the way, prelims. Because to me, this will not be on the main card. Love Drew Dober. Don't ever see him being on the main card, especially on the MSG main card, unless he was ranked. He's fighting another ranked guy, maybe. But fun scrap. Two very fun strikers, brawlers, you could say. And yeah, make this fight happen. Zainikov needs to get back in here, and he needs to fight one more time before the year ends, bro. I don't want to, I don't want him to be on a Dagestani schedule where he just fights like once a year. Like, bro, we don't want to see that. And he's not even like the wrestling type. He's a striking type mostly from what we've seen in the UFC so far. This will be a fun fight. Make it happen. Prelim fight. Let's move on. Let's match another fun matchup here. We have Chris Taco Padilla versus Jim Miller. And you're wondering, why is Jim Miller fighting an upcoming guy right outside the top 15 looking to get ranked soon? And I'm wearing the same thing too. Chris Padilla called out Jim Miller. I don't know why. I don't hate the fight. It's not trash. It's not like we're throwing Jim Miller into the fire. Jim Miller has a chance for sure. Because the way Chris Padilla fights, I mean, Chris Padilla could change the way he fights instantly and just, just go haywire, be aggressive, really showcase his Muay Thai than he did in the last fight against Haqparast. Because Haqparast, he submitted him. Really so much kicks, teeps, I mean, just jab, feints, just a lot of that. And I mean, he turned it up in there. He turned it up each round. Round 3 was the best round. Ended up submitting Haqparast by technical submission. But that was a fun fight. And I think he called out Jim Miller. I don't know why. I mean, he said he wanted to fight a legend. He'd been watching him as when he was on the kid on TV. Makes sense. Jim Miller's fought pretty much everybody, bro. Everybody, bro. He's pretty much fought everybody, bro. And just add it. I mean, Jim Miller's like 40 something. I don't think he's gonna he's legitimately not gonna retire, but he's probably gonna fight like once, maybe twice a year, just because of how old he is and he has his family. He's life outside of fighting, really. So he's a guy. He legitimately. He said he wanted to fight until UFC 400. That'd be a milestone. 100, 200, 300, and 400. And realistically, he will be on that UFC 400 card when it happens. But to me, I don't know why Crispy get caught out. I don't know why he called out Jim Miller. He could have fought Beneil Dariush, Torres, guys who are at the end of the rankings. Then if he fights those guys, then he's in the rankings. Those be better matchups than Jim Miller. But he wants to fight Jim Miller. Let's make it happen. Let's put on this card. Boom. Let's do it. Jim Miller's he's the unk of the unks, bro. He barely fights. But you gotta come up like here, bro. He's an older guy. Fair enough. Anyways, we can move on. Next fight here. I have another upcoming guy, prospect. Let's put him on this card. Yes, he had a lot of people say it was kind of a snooze fight, but it's not like that's all he can do. But we're gonna have Ezra Elliott versus Khan Offley. Prospect versus an older guy. Khan Offley's not that old. He's not like extremely old, but he's a little bit older than Ezra Elliott. But yeah, obviously, let's start with Ezra Elliott. Ezra, he made his debut on it was like a short notice fight on the Usman DDP fight night in OKC. He fought Damian Anderson. He just dominated him. Literally, I think he broke the record for featherweight, the most takedowns in a featherweight fight, which is crazy. I mean, he's doing that on his debut. Ultimately, if you're watching UFC fights, do not watch him fight Damian Anderson, bro. If you're new to the MMA, UFC as a whole, do not watch that fight. I mean, in that fight, he really wrestled him. Now, he's more of a grappler, and we saw his wrestling. We saw how good his wrestling is. We saw the amount of takedowns he got in that fight. His pressure he put on Damian Anderson really good. Damian Anderson's more of a BJJ guy, so it's understandable in a way. But it's not like he was new to grappling. That's what he does. But Khan Offley, another guy coming off a pretty easy win against Javier Reyes on the Azerbaijan card. Pretty sure he knocked him down in that fight, and then he submitted him, or he got him into the ground, then he submitted him. Javier Reyes sucks. He's trash. But I will say this would be a very fun fight because we have 2 nice grapplers. I want to see more. I know Ezra Elliott has a good amount of submissions on the regional scene, but I would like to see more because he's not going to just take Khan Offley down 20-something times in a fight. I don't see that happening. Khan Offley, not bad takedown defense. This fight's going to be a grappling match, but it's still a fun fight. Khan Offley, the older guy, has had a couple of fights in the UFC, like 5, I think. So he made his debut in June, and he's here. I think it was July, whatever. But this will be a nice fight. Ezra really needs to get, Ezra really will he will fight again this year, I believe. That makes sense. Sean O'Malley, I like Sean O'Malley. I'm a big Sean O'Malley fan. I would root for him, but this will be a tough matchup just because of the grappling abilities of Conofley. But fun fight, fun prelim. Now with the prelim opener, or not the prelim opener, the card opener, we have another prospect, the guy who's only had one fight in the UFC so far, against another guy who is also fairly new. I'm pretty sure he's had one fight in the UFC. That's going to be John Garza versus Jamie Siraj. Let me just look real quick. I'm gonna just grab my phone. I'm just look at this real quick, just make sure, because I like to give the most authentic stuff I can, like to be true to my word here. But I just want to see this real quick because this is important. We're on John Garza versus Jamie Siraj here. Jamie Siraj, Canadian. I'm pretty sure he's had one fight in the UFC. I'm not sure though. I want to double check that. Yeah. He fought John, got KO'd, but who cares? This to me, John Garza showed that he can last in the division in the UFC. I watched his first fight with Fard Bashar, who's not a finisher. Really got to take control of you. Just take you down, hold control. You're not really strike much of you on the ground. John Garza did a really good job of getting out from those takedowns, escaping them, striking them from landing some nice shots. Especially in round 3, he kind of picked it up round and round, and he fought. Hear me out. Listen, Fard Bashar is number 15 ranked in bantamweight when he fought him. He fought a ranked guy. Held his own, lost by decision. Then he could finish. Fard Bashar in general is not a finisher, and he really doesn't KO people at all. He's like one KO in his career. But John Garza is so durable, so tough. I want to see him again. Put him against Jamie Siraj. Another guy, Jamie Siraj is more of a grappler. John Garza, let's say he's more. He knocks people out. Has better finishing ability in terms of on the feet. Jamie Siraj is not a bad grappler though. Solid. Got killed by Giannis, so questionable. But he's not bad. This will be a fun prelim opener, or not just prelim opener, a card opener as well. John Garza is a very intriguing guy. I want to see him back in bantamweight. I do think he's promise. I think he could rack up some wins and maybe consider rankings, so we could see that. But bantamweight is pretty stacked. There's so much going on in bantamweight, upcoming in the past. So it'd be really hard for him to maintain a ranking. I think he could get there, but probably really hard for him to maintain one. But anyways, man, that's gonna be the end of this video. Just want to end it off here. Had a lot of fun making this card. This card to me should be a pretty stacked card. It's MSG. So MSG card, it's got to be stacked for sure. Got to have a lot of big names in the card. It's going to end the video here. If you know, kind of like and subscribe. Next week we have UC Shanghai. Predictions for that will be I'll try to do them either Wednesday or Thursday. But tomorrow, and this week, next week, we have a lot of videos coming out here. A lot of big videos I like putting time into. But anyways, let's make the video. Like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. That's gonna be it, man. Peace.